Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Bobby Moore Stand. It's Sunday night. It's Transfers Live. And I'm joined by Chris, as usual. For those of you who don't know, I'm Gary, by the way. Chris, how's your weekend been?
It's been very nice, thank you. It's been very nice. I needed kind of a decent weekend because it's been a tough few weeks at work, and yeah, it was good. I had a really nice Friday. It was nice to celebrate your birthday with you. So happy birthday again to you.
Yeah. I actually, people who sent me thanks, I ain't got around to responding to everybody because there's just so many, right? They're everywhere, and I did want to get on with my birthday. So thanks everybody. It's really nice of you to wish me happy birthday, and obviously the year's anniversary the day before. So it all went down. We got some really good feedback and some lovely comments. So thank you for that. But yeah, pie and mash, Chris, chili vinegar, not good.
You had to go there, didn't you? Well, mate, look, can I just clarify something? Yeah, I think
you ain't going to back out. You ain't going to back out.
Because like I saw the Facebook post that you did where you were just on that stupid poll. Horrible chili vinegar versus lovely. It's like you're trying to influence people into thinking that that's the right thing. And it's,
I didn't want to influence the outcome, you know. I didn't want to.
Look, you know what the people in the pie and mash shop said. They've been making pie and mash and selling pie and mash for years. All East Londoners all said chili vinegar. That's enough for me. That's enough for me.
They're Chelmsfordians like you.
No, yeah. I'm not. We're really not. We're really not doing this again, Gal. We ain't doing this. I'm telling you. But no, either way, it was lovely. It was lovely. You know, it was really really nice. And yeah, I had a good Friday. I'm glad you had a nice birthday. Yeah.
Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. I tell you, we went out. I told you, I'm going to knock you off and put myself on widescreen. I just want to show the people at home something. It's my favourite birthday.
Yeah, go on.
Not quite aligned yet in a spotlight, but see this. This is my new set. I've got rid of the horrible wood in the background so that it holds the light better. But this will be lit up properly with a much bigger spotlight. It's actually a beautiful piece of work. I'll show you. Take away the blur. It's my son made it. My son Reese made it, and it's actually. He fixed up a West Ham mould. He's a artisan plasterer who does film sets and stuff like that usually. And you know, he's done that. He's put it. You know, he's made. I don't know what it's made out of. It's not plaster. It's some mixture of. It's bloody heavy anyway. It's unbreakable. And then it's hand painted, and it's a beautiful thing. It's like one of the best presents I've ever got. I love it.
It looks really, honestly, I love it. It looks so nice. Yeah. Great present that is.
Yeah. So let's go back. So thank you, Reese. And yeah, really, really brilliant day. And we had all the kids out to dinner, cracking, really amazing restaurant. If anyone's around Raphael's Park, or Raffles as they call it locally, in Gideon Park, it's called it's a bad name. It's called Creme. Creme to me is like crematorium, but it ain't like that. It means creme as in cream, right? But it's a stunning restaurant. And what it was like half of the restaurant. I run past it. Sometimes when I go there, and all the shutters are down. So I thought it was a cafe, but when it's opened up, it's like, especially on a sunny night, just as the sun's going down, you're looking out over the lake, and they've got like the front veranda sort of open. That's where you're eating. It's like being in the Mediterranean. It's amazing. It's so quiet because it's in the middle of a park on a hill. Yeah. Anybody nice. In Romford, go there. I advise you. Not cheap, but worth it.
I saw the pictures, mate. It looked very nice. I'm glad you had a nice birthday. You deserved it, mate. You did.
Yeah. Cheers. It's been you said the last 2 weeks have been busy. Next 2 weeks going to be even busier for me, right? As you know. So,
well, mind you, I'm surprised you managed to eat that. Yeah, presumably you had quite a decent meal on Friday, because that pie and mash stuffed me up, mate. I couldn't even eat anything later on that evening. In fact, I didn't eat anything till about 11 o'clock at night.
I've got an inner fat bloke, Chris. No matter how much weight I lose, there's the inner fat bloke who knows how to eat. And the 2 pies and 2 mash. I mean, there's no way. I'd have no self-respect if I couldn't finish off my mash. I did look at it and think, my God, I've not eaten this much mash in years. But I dug my way for it. I went mash first. Do you see any of those eating challenges where they get rid of all the carbs first? That's what I did. That's a mistake you made.
What are you saying? What are you digging me out again? Because I left about a mouthful of mash.
You know, tactics are not little white mints, Chris.
You didn't clean up your liquor, mate. So that's unforgivable as far as I'm concerned. I'm not fine up.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold up, no. Shut. What are you talking about? I didn't finish a bit of mash. I finished my pies, all right. I didn't finish a bit of mash, a little tiny bit of mash. I did a good job. But it was bloody hot in there, though. I was sweating like a pig. I was really uncomfortable, you know.
I was in the same place. I was just as hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you had shorts on, mate. I had jeans on. Do you know what I mean? I was hotter than you. So anyway, there you go.
Okay.
Should have been away.
You'll get another go, right? Yeah, we go when it's autumn. So anyway, like, welcome everybody in the chat. Claire is in there to take charge as usual. Evening, Claire. We're going to bring you the latest transfer updates, and we're going to discuss the friendly win away to Grasshoppers of Zurich. And I'm going to remind you, have a little chat about the USA tour that starts next Saturday. And then, well, we're just going to respond to the stuff that you put in the chat. If there's anything else you want to talk about. And I think that's it. But before we go on any further, if you like what we do, please could you hit subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a like and hit the bell notification icon. Subscribe and like are really important for us because we need more and more people to watch our shows, and that's how it works. Okay. So Chris, you ready to go?
Yeah, mate. Crack on. I'm in a good mood tonight. So yeah, see if you can make me even a better mood because I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll start off with the upbeat news of Kyle Walker-Peters, who signed on a free transfer, 28 years old, England international, 3 caps. I watched his interview. He's a very articulate, well-spoken guy and thoughtful as well. And what he actually said was he sort of gushed about the family feel and the possible actually. And he said they were a big part of his reason for moving. That he's building this family atmosphere. It kind of suggests that there isn't one already, or one needs to be built, right? Which is not a good thing. But hey, he's played for Spurs. Look, he was a proven player. I think he's on 28 years old. No money. He is a direct replacement for Vladimir Sufal, but he can also play left back. I don't think Vlad could really do that. And think about the AFCON when our new man Diouf, who was very good on Saturday, when he nips off to the AFCON, we're going to have plenty of coverage. Yeah,
totally. I mean, it's an astute piece of business for West Ham. I do. I mean, free transfer for a player, 28 years of age. Still very much kind of going to be hitting his prime. And as you say, I mean, he's versatile. You know, he's flexible. He can play on both sides. Something that we definitely need. We definitely do need depth there. People will kind of argue and say, well, we've already got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we've got Malik Diouf, but we do need cover, as you've pointed out there. With regards to AFCON coming up, we need to make sure that we've got cover, and we wouldn't, if those two go away. So I think he's a proven Premier League fullback, can play left back, right wing back, left wing back.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with it. I think it's one of those sort of signings that it might go under the radar a little bit for some West Ham fans, but I think he'll prove to be a very good signing for West Ham, because if you look at him at Southampton last season, I don't think that's necessarily a fair reflection of the player that he is, because if you look at previous seasons when he was playing the Premier League, he was a lot more effective. I think he had to find himself kind of dragged back into deeper positions last season. Wasn't necessarily enabling him to get forward into the final thirds, but he is that type of player. He's very, very good getting the ball forward. He's good in duels and 1v1s. He's very comfortable in possession. I know that much. He's got very good feet, good, close, tight control. I think he's someone that, for me, I think it's a really good signing. Honestly, I do.
I don't think you can go wrong for free, can you? I think it's my favourite price.
And Sullivan's as well.
Sorry?
And Sullivan's as well.
Yes. It is. And I don't mind when they're obviously a good fit like he is. I mean, he's a very good fit for the inverted fullback in Potter's system. So the one downside is he's quite vulnerable aerially, but Potter doesn't really depend on that from his inverted fullbacks, does he? He expects his centre halves to do all that stuff.
Yeah, he is an inverted fullback, isn't he, Kyle Walker-Peters? He does come inside quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure he got an assist against us last season. I'm sure he did. But yeah, he's a good player. Like I said, I've got no qualms about us signing him at all. And let's not forget, I mean, even last season we were linked with him. At the beginning of last season, we were going to sign him, but then we ended up getting Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And at that time, I think a lot of West Ham fans are pretty happy about the fact that we were being linked with him. So
I agree.
Yeah, well, why not? The only kind of bad thing about him, not there is the fact he came from Spurs originally. But I won't hold that against him. He only played a handful of games for them.
About that. I mean, if you remember, John Moncur came from Spurs, didn't he? He loved playing Spurs, though.
Yeah, he didn't really play for them though, did he? He come through the youth team from recollection. But anyway, I'm only mucking about. No, look, I'm happy, mate. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
He's an 8 out of 10 fit in a, using a kind of arbitrary measure in Potter's into a Potter system. It's definitely a Potter signing, as you can hear it what he's talking. You can hear from the player himself, and also he sold the club to him. And also Diouf is clearly a Potter signing as well. So far so good. There have been no surprise Sullivan entries into the list of signings, and I'm pleased about that. Really pleased. Long may it continue.
Yeah, totally. Right. I think what we're seeing here is we're bringing in players that basically give us a bit more balance that we didn't have last season.
Yes.
And I'll come on to my thoughts around certain things that I'm really looking forward to next season. I'm going to come on to this in detail and provide a bit of context, because I think there's a lot that we can get quite excited about, in my opinion. I'm not just saying that because I know it's all positive, July, but I think there is, because I think there are a lot of players at West Ham that have got a real big point to prove, like a massive point to prove. And this is a platform, we can kind of like, go into it a bit negatively, but I actually think that might work well in the West Ham team's favour, because the expectations are pretty low right now. So you never know, this can completely turn around. And if you get that balance right, I mean, don't get me wrong, we still need to make more signings, central midfield, up front and so on. If you can make the right signings in those key positions, we're going to have a very, very balanced squad, a very balanced team that we haven't had for a long time. So that, I think it's noticeable. And I love the fact that he's addressed that position on the left-hand side. Yeah. I really like that. And for me, like the youth, I'm sure we'll come on to him shortly, but I think he's going to be a star, mate. I really do.
So do I. I really do. I mean, I think two players that come to mind when you say people who've got something to prove, and I'd say that's Mavropanos, who will soon be on Mobile, soon feature on Mobile somewhere, right? and Fulkrug, definitely. And it was nice of them to pop down to London to meet your Fred today, wasn't it?
Yeah. Fred was shopping in. He was around Bond Street today, and he bumped into Nicholas Fulkrug and Mavropanos, and had his picture with him there, as happy as anything,
That's brilliant.
I'm surprised they're back already. I thought they were still out the country, but they must have got back probably this morning. Out shopping together, clearly good pals, but no, they were shopping around, buying clothes and stuff. And
the photo with Fulkrug just made me laugh. He's like that. he's like popped in the corner, isn't he?
Well, Fred's quite tall. I mean, Fred's touching. He's about nearly the same height as me. So he's just under 6 foot now. But you look at him next to Fulkrug. He's tiny next to Fulkrug. Yeah. He's a big guy. But equally, the same as that picture I sent you with him and Mavropanos. I mean, how ironic Mavropanos would be in a picture, though, particularly after me giving you his shirt and everything. It had to be him. No one else. It's Mavropanos. But no,
Chris, if he came good.
Well, he played well yesterday, Gal. He played well yesterday. And go on to your point you were saying about players with points to prove. Was it just Fulkrug and Mavropanos in particular, though?
No,
those are standout players.
There's plenty, but there are two standout players, I would say. Somerville as well, because he's been injured. He only started to prove himself, and then he went.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got to prove himself.
That's what I'm saying. There's a whole heap of players, Gal, that really have got a point to prove. And you're right. I mean, Mavropanos, yes and no. I think he did have a bit of a shite season last year, so I think he's going to want to kind of make amends for that.
The team did, though, and they were left vulnerable a lot of the time by the systems, weren't they? Really, by the midfield.
Yeah, they were, which is why if we get it right in midfield, then hopefully it's going to take less pressure off our centre backs. I think Kilman's got a point to prove going into next season, actually, 100%. Because he petered off massively. And so I don't think he wants, well, of course he won't. He won't want West Ham fans to think, right, that's what I'm about. He's got a lot more to his game, and he's proven that at Wolves. So, you can write these players off at your peril, but I think they've all got something to prove this season. But you're right. I think, Mavropanos to an extent, I still reserve judgment on whether or not I actually think he's a good player. I know he's got the attributes, but I wonder whether he's suited to the Premier League.
I agree. I just hope that he does. I can't say whether he will or not. I don't know if I'll put money on it. I mean, I put money on his transfer fee, but then I wouldn't put money on whether he'd be massively improved or not. He has the physical attributes. I don't know whether he's got the mental capability. I don't know to, survive under pressure.
Well, look at it this way, right? And I'll just come on to it now. And I know you want to come on to the friendly that we played yesterday, but players with points to prove for me, okay, when you're looking going into the season. So you've hit the nail on the head with Nicholas Fulkrug, because I genuinely think that he's going to have a stellar season for us, provided, of course, that he can stay fit. I do not believe for 1 second that he wants to leave. If you look at everything, on the West Ham websites, and I know sometimes they paint a real positive picture, but he genuinely looks like he's one of the happiest geezers at West Ham right now. Like he's really, really happy to be there. Like he's dancing away. Like, he looks really, really happy, and he's trimmer. He's lost about 4 kilos in weight, apparently, going back into pre-season. Apparently, according to Tim Stein, he's as fit as he has been for a long, long time. And he's looking pretty sharp. And he's also got the rest of pre-season to get himself in peak condition. So I think, honestly, he is going to be, and I'm going to call it now, I think the proviso is if he stays fit. I think he'll be absolutely key for us this season. And he will prove a lot of people wrong, unquestionably. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I think that he started to prove people wrong already. And he was a massive fan favourite, especially at away games. He loves that big fucking German. He really loves it. A big smile.
But so he's one. I mean, he's one that I think has got a definite point to prove. But then you've got, as you pointed out, Somerville again injured for most of last season. And I was watching. I don't know if you've seen his interview on the West Ham website, but I think he said something like, I want the West Ham fans to see the real me, and this is showtime and everything else. So he's had effectively a season out, right? So this is like. He's been at West Ham for a year or a season. This is now his time to shine. It is, because he's going to come back, hopefully fully fit by the end of August.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be chomping at the bit because he's lost the best part of about 9 months of his career so far at West Ham. So he's going to want to come back strong. He knows he's got the opportunity now to really solidify the left-hand side as his position. There's no Kudus coming in there playing in an unorthodox position on the left-hand side. He can make that position his own. So he has got a massive point to prove. So you look at Fulkrug, you look at Somerville, then you talk about the defenders like Kilman. Well, maybe we'll come on to him because we don't know the situation with him. I don't know necessarily whether he's got a point to prove as such, because I think there's mixed opinions about him. He's a very good player. He's a good ball playing centre half. We know he's extremely quick, all those sort of things, right? But I'm talking about the players that didn't really perform to the levels that we know they can last season. So Somerville, but by default, the fact that he was injured. Fulkrug, again, injured. Even Todibo as well, by the way, Gal, because Todibo, he didn't...
big time.
Well, he didn't really get into the team at the beginning of the season, did he, under Lopetegui? Then he got into the team, but he was still unfit. We had to sub him at 65, and it was only towards the tail end of the season he was getting to around about 85, 90. So he's going to have a big point to prove as well. He does not want West Ham fans to think, right, that's
Todibo. Chris is in shape because he was a bit chunky when he came back off of the break.
Yeah, but he's got pre-season to get himself back into fitness, right? Get himself back to full fitness. So I think he should really be starting the season in better shape than he started last season. So again, another one with a point to prove. And then you look at someone like
Freddie. Todibo looks thinner, says Lawrence Watkins. Thank you for confirming.
Then you've got Freddie Potts. Obviously, he's come back. He's going to want to get in that first team. He's desperate to get in that first team. Point to prove, not only to the West Ham fans, to himself, to show that he can step up another level. Then you've got the likes of, one of your favourites, Guilherme.
Yeah.
Again, first season at West Ham. Hopefully, he's settled into the club now. This could be a season where he could really get up and running. I think
it was close, I think he was close. I mean, he did go close a few times. He'd done some really good things from the bench in the last little bit of that season. And I think he was a little little bit of luck away from setting up a goal or scoring a goal, and that's something to build on, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, when you look at those players that we've called out there, you're talking about players that are in effect in positions where we were really weak last season. Up front, we didn't have anything. Left wing, we didn't really have anything because we had Kudus there, wasn't performing. Centre back, we need those players back on point again. And then you've got the new players coming in. The likes of obviously Malik Diouf, who's going to offer us a hell of a lot on that left-hand side. The versatility of Kyle Walker-Peters and incoming transfers that will happen. We will sign more players. It's just a question of who. And I genuinely believe that Potter knows exactly. I mean, you don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to work this out, but he knows where he needs to strengthen. And central midfield up front, if you can get those positions right, like I said earlier, you're looking at a much more balanced team. And that, for me, gives me a lot of optimism going into the season, because I can't begin to tell you, well, you know how we felt last season. We were so fed up with how unbalanced the team looked. I mean, it really did, didn't it? It was almost like, come on, like it was glaringly obvious to anyone watching West Ham. Hopefully Potter can address those problems. So, there are absolutely reasons to be optimistic about what he's trying to do. Just give him a bit of time. Yes, I would have liked to see players come in earlier,
Yeah.
You know what? It doesn't always work out that way. Look at all of the other clubs in the Premier League. Look at how many players and signings they've made in general, on average.
Oh yeah, I know. But I don't mind. If it's listen. If you're going to rush and get it wrong, I'd rather take the time and get it right. That's the thing, right? If we're going to bring play, because really our window only started when Kudus got sold, just because it did, right? Money problems. So it's not right, but that's what happened. So when you consider that, it's only been a couple of weeks since that happened, and we've signed 2 players since. So if we carry on this momentum, just one by one, bringing in the pieces that we need. There are a few worrying developments in the transfer market, by the way. But again, I'm not going to get down on them. And also, I've got to say, whoever starts the season in a West Ham United shirt, they're going to get my support. Until they don't have my support, right?
Yeah, well, it's the way it should always be as West Ham fans, right? How could you ever start a season on the back of any players? I don't care, whoever starts, you've got to get behind them. Simple as.
History doesn't matter. This is going to be a completely different team and a completely different style of football that wasn't able to be played last year because of the people available. So let's talk about our next link anyway. And this is a recurring one, but it seems to be getting hotter. It's being reported in quite a few places now, and that is that Jack Grealish has not travelled with a City team. He's been left at home. They're going to move him on. Now, obviously, wages is a massive sticking point here. I would imagine this would be a loan of some kind. We're paying some of his wages, loan maybe with an option, but hugely expensive player. They paid 100 million for him. They haven't really made very good use of him at all. He would be really good for us, and he would absolutely fit the Potter system. I mean, he really would. So, if that's something, I'm not for a moment expecting this to happen, but it keeps getting talked about, and if there is something in it, then very good. I'd welcome him.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of poo-pooed this the other day because, when you look at it, £100 million player on about, 250, 300 grand a week, you think, well, how's that going to happen? But, if he's not going to get game time, which he probably won't do at Man City, he's got to reassess what his kind of expectations are moving forward because he's, 28, 29 years of age now? He's running out of time. He needs to get his career back on track. And the only way he's going to do that is if he lowers his salary expectations and moves to a club where he's going to get regular first team football. So
can I just say this? Sullivan's apparently said no to Grealish. Well, it means it's on then, right? So don't believe anything he says.
yeah. He'll be signing tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, it's not really a big investment, Bodger. We ain't buying him. That ain't happening. We might loan him. It won't be an investment. I mean, investment in wages, but when I've trimmed some wages off the wage bill, what's he going to take up? I mean, the maximum we've been paying people is 150 grand a week. He's earning 300 at the moment. He's only earning 300 because he's at Man City.
It's obscene, though. I mean, it's obscene, isn't it? And I think if he comes to West Ham, I would imagine we'd do something like, like we did kind of with Jesse Lingard, right? We'll pay a decent sized loan fee. That is what I would imagine.
This has, I look at this as a kind of wild card. Jesse Lingard, can he get himself back into the England squad, for instance? He's 29. Imagine if he set it alight for us for a season. Would he? Would he do something? I mean, he wins you untold free kicks. He's just trouble down that left hand side, isn't he? I do like him because I always feared him as a player.
Oh, he's a good player. I mean, he's a good player. He's the player that you love to hate, isn't he? He is. He's kind of got that about him. I wonder whether he's really, really that focused though at the moment. I mean, he always seems to be pissed. I mean, I know it's kind of post, pre-season, whatever, but I don't know, mate. I just wonder whether his head's caught, is in the wrong place. That's the questionable thing with me.
Maybe, and that is something that needs to be sorted out. I think personally, he's not. He's quite a down to earth guy. He's not motivated. I don't think he went to Man City. It was an offer he couldn't refuse in the end, and obviously he went there for the money. And he's a Villa boy, isn't he? He'd always be a Villa supporter. But I don't think you'd have any problem with him regarding work rate. Man City have not had a problem regarding work rate. They've had a problem in that he doesn't fit their system.
Well, yeah, and I think he would offer us so much creativity coming in off the left-hand side. He would do. He is a good player. He is a good player, but I think the only way it's going to happen is if West Ham Man City subsidise some of his wages and we pay a loan fee. But definitely no perm deal on the cards for that. No way. I can't see that.
I think Scul's a utility player down the mid and left. I don't know what the end of this conversation is. Yeah, it is. But if that's in context with Grealish, I think if I'm offered Grealish for a year, I'm taking Grealish because Sculls will get his chance as and when there are injuries, as and when there's different formations, different opponents, all sorts of stuff. He will get his chance. As we saw last year, you need a squad for this league. You really do. This one bothers me, this next one. But let's dwell on it a little bit, right? Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, this is being reported literally everywhere as if it's about to happen. And on a KWP post when he was announcing that he joined West Ham. That's a bit weird, unless he's his mate. He might just be his mate, right? Now, let's just recount, because at the top of my head, I'm thinking he's shot to pieces, right? And 2021, he got 28 goals. That was when he peaked. Following season, he got 5 in 18 games. That's all he played. Following season, 2 in 18. Following season, 23-24, 8 in 33. Last season, 3 in 26. So he's had long periods of injury, broken toe, quadriceps, knee and repeated hamstring injuries, fractured cheekbone, hamstring and ankle injuries. So the ones that I'm worried about are the hamstring, because that's recurring, knee and ankle. They're the ones. So listen, I don't think you sign a player like that, because there's no doubt about it. At one point, when he was on form, again, I was worried about him when he come down to West Ham, but we ain't seen that Dominic Calvert-Lewin for a long time now. We know that he's been open apparently to the Everton fans forums about or whatever they're called, about the emotional toll of repeated setbacks, because he kept getting injured. And some people think that when he come back, he was playing within himself so as he didn't get another injury, right? So there might be a player in there somewhere, but I don't think you pay a lot of money for that player. I think if he does join, it's got to be, well, he's free, but it's got to be on some sort of pay-as-you-play deal as another squad player. I mean, look, on the face of it, I'm not really that happy. But if there's still a player in there somewhere, I don't know if there is or not. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's no evidence to say there is. What do you think?
Well, I think on his day is a handful, but sadly those days are few and far between. So I'm not overly excited about it. I'd like us to be linked with younger, more dynamic, faster players. That's the type of striker we need to bring into West Ham, because if you look at his game aerially, he's really strong, he's physical. Well, we've kind of got that with Füllkrug right now. So what we're trying to do, a like for like with Füllkrug and DCL. I don't think he's the right type of striker for us. But that being said, if we signed him, and as you say, if he was on some kind of, I don't think necessarily a pay-as-you-play deal, but heavily incentivized based on appearances and goals, then maybe it might make sense, because there are a large section of Everton fans who wanted him to stay there as well, because they've still got a lot of love for him, So I don't know. I mean, look, again, it's who knows? Who knows if he's going to turn back into the player that he once was? I don't know, because you know what it's like when you get an injury-prone player like that. If they're not really playing at 100% because they're worried about getting another injury again, well, we don't need that shit. We've had that so many times. So in theory, if you look at it, he's exactly the sort of striker that we'd probably end up buying or signing, because we always do it.
He's got physical injuries. He's also got emotional injuries as well. And so I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to see it. I wouldn't want to see it. He's in the Salthouse Black Book. Yeah. So is Somerville. But honestly, we know what this looks like. It looks like a Danny Ings deal, right? No more sick notes. 3 years, 150 grand a week. Right. DCL. No. Oh yeah, it's another Calvert-Lewin. It's another.
Not another acronym. Acronym United. Yeah.
Could we have an entire team of double-barreled players? What do you reckon? I think we could.
We've got so many now, haven't we? AWB, JWP, flipping L.
Yeah.
Oh,
it makes it easier, doesn't it? Yeah. Makes it easier.
Does it?
No difficult foreign names to pronounce for me, right? It makes it much easier for me. Must be why they're doing it. But yeah, I look at this similar way I look to Antonio. And I know a lot of people would say, well, I'd rather give Antonio a go, and probably so would I, but only as a squad player on the bench, squad padding, nowhere near the first team, using emergencies only, break glass and use. I want to see Callum Marshall given a run out alongside Füllkrug or backing up Füllkrug. I want to see him grow into the team. Well, I want to see him on his tour first to see if he can play against Premier League teams. That'll be an eye-opener. Right.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a few decisions on signings will be made as a result of what happens on this tour. We're going to talk about that later. So yeah, I think from me that would be a no. It definitely would be. But I don't know if there's anything else that I don't know if I'm missing something, like an update on him. Has he sorted his head out? Has he, because if he's totally fit and he's sorted his head out, then maybe he can get the best out of himself again. If he was playing inside himself again. It wasn't his attitude. It wasn't his attitude, Jim. It wasn't his attitude. He was suffering from fucking terrible mental, emotional issues, right? It wasn't an attitude that he willingly did. It was something that just impacted him because he kept getting injured. And so when he eventually came back, when he was fit, his head was all over the place and he was trying to avoid injury. That's what I'm trying to say.
Look at it from another angle here, Gal. Okay, look at it from another perspective.
Yeah.
David Moyes was his manager at Everton, right?
Yes, and he's getting rid of him.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm sure if he really wanted him, he could have convinced him to stay. So on that basis alone, I don't really want him because I think he is typically the sort of striker that Moyes would love as well. Big target man up front, someone that can really, bully defenders or whatever. Is exactly that sort of striker. The fact that Moyes didn't want him, I mean, look, he's like a bit of a throwback striker, a bit like a Duncan Ferguson, probably not as physical as Duncan Ferguson, but he's that type of player. So the fact that he didn't stick with Moyes makes you think, well, why are we taking him? I don't get that.
He done his best stuff when he was played up in a 2. Since he's been played in a 1, and Everton have been sacking managers and hiring managers left, right, and centre, he hasn't flourished. So again, if we're going to play a 1, if we're going to play a 2, maybe occasionally, maybe it'd be an occasional thing. But anyway, look, what I'm going to say about this sort of player is, again, I don't think you give me a choice, I wouldn't take him. I'll take someone else. If he happens to come to West Ham and he pulls on a West Ham shirt, I'll support him, right? Is what it is. So, look, there's 4 more that we can talk about. No, in fact, there's no news on Tyler Morton and Harvey Elliott, right? I just want to make sure that there is one more. There is one more that's really important, actually, and I've missed it. And this is an update on the keeper from Leicester. Because he's another one that's been, Mads Hermansen, has been reporting his gathering pace now because it was reported that Leicester had left him out of their pre-season tour. And it's believed West Ham are negotiating on the 30 to 35 million fee. It's believed to be sweeper keeper who lives outside of his 6-yard box, comfortably pinging fizz diagonals to the wing breaks. Perfect for Graham Potter's highline build-out patterns. Shot-stopping numbers were heroic, it said. A 3.8% clean sheet rate belies Leicester's porous back 4. It was as well, wasn't it? Needs to tidy up punch clearances. Yes, learn to catch, mate. Learn to catch. But profile screams modern number 1. 8 out of 10 for Potterable is the arbitrary Potter rating. He would be perfect. One weakness when we talk about Grasshoppers was Areola, who screwed up a couple of times. All right, and
he did. Fotheringham is better than him, and that says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, honestly, Fotheringham looked more comfortable than Areola. Yeah, for sure. We
need a keeper. We need a keeper that plays the way Potter plays football. Otherwise, everything's going to stop when it gets to the keeper, and the keeper's going to see a lot of the ball in that system. So, we it's needed. It's needed. We can do that deal. That's really important.
It's a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of money when you bear in mind what our transfer budget is, and I don't really know, but I can't imagine it being that big. So obviously, it's going to be staggered payments as it always is with players. But I do like him. I just go back to the game that when I went up to Leicester last year, and mate, we peppered their goal like we did. We just could not get past the geezer, and they end up beating us. They end up. He is a good goalkeeper. So for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer, but it needs to be at the right price, Gal. I wouldn't want us to see us throw all of our transfer kitty on a keeper because we need to address not only the keeping position but also up front and midfield more than anything. I think right now.
100%. I think when you look at all of the players we're linked with, the midfield is the next thing they're going to sort out as well as the keeper, and then I think when all that's done, it'll be striker. And I think that is really it's important to do it in that way because you've got to build the base first, then you've got to build your midfield. And then once you've got all those 2 things in place, you know what kind of striker you need if you need to get a striker, don't you? You can't. It's pointless starting with a striker and retrofitting, isn't it?
Yeah, but he knows. I think he's got a certain style of football that he plays, and he knows what type of striker will fit into that style of football. So I don't really necessarily think that's completely true, Gail. I think he should, if he's got an opportunity to sign the right type of striker, regardless of whether he gets in the midfielders now or later, he just needs to go out and make the move, mate. He does. He really does. Yeah.
No, I agree. Areola looked drunk yesterday. Poor decisions, hair everywhere. What's his hair doing now? Has he changed it again?
It's crazy, mate. Do you remember those do you remember those little troll dolls back in the 80s? His hair's like that now. He's got some long. I don't know what he's doing. He's gone from like 70s porn star to like fucking I don't know, like some kind of troll doll from back in the 80s or 90s. He's changing his style like constantly, but. Mate, I don't care what he looks like as long as he plays well. But yesterday he didn't look good at all, did he? He looked pretty shaky.
No, he didn't. But look, yes, midfield is 100% the key. 100%. That is where we've been. If you think about it logically, that's where we've been weak since Declan Rice left. I mean, it's true, isn't it? We've lacked, and also the atmosphere in the dressing room has gone since Declan Rice left. We really need that atmosphere in the dressing room. That is what, with a team like ours, if you're strong in the dressing room, then get that spirit going. That's half the battle. We had little cliques all around the place for the last couple of years, and fights breaking out last year, even with a manager. Right, that's got to stop. And anyone who's disrespectful or cynical about potable, or whatever you want to call it, they've got to be let go. I don't think there's anything in. By the way, what's his name? Edson Alvarez not playing yesterday. I think he was given an extended rest because he played in the Gold Cup. The only other one that's looking like he might be on his way is Souček. He's now Leeds and Everton want him for 12 million. So it is looking likely with Souček now. And when you look at his playing style and how it fits into a Potter system, what I was saying a while ago about is worth it with goals and stuff like that. Well, the fact is, he's probably not going to be playing in that sort of system to get those goals. So that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I like Claire says there. I don't want to lose Souček because I don't
want to lose him. I don't want to lose him. I'm just trying to make sense of it, Chris. I'm trying to make sense of it.
No, I get it. I mean, I think if we end up selling Souček, it needs to be for the right price. If we're looking at 12 million from Everton, then that's a joke because I think he's worth more than that. For his goals alone and what he offers in that respect, I think you've got to be looking circa at least 15 to 20 million for a player like that. You got to come on. Look, he got 9 goals for us last season.
12 so that massively low.
What it is, mate. I mean, if we look at 12 million pound, mate, you think Mavropanos is worth more than that? I mean, that's saying something. So I don't think Souček going for 12 million is a joke. He's got to go for more than that. But I agree with what you're saying. I don't think he necessarily fits into the Potter style of play. Like, what he wants to do, I don't think. But if we get rid of him, we have to get a goal scoring midfield player. We have to. Someone that can knock in between, maybe realistically 8 goals a season as a bare minimum. We need to replace him. With someone that can do that. Whether that's going to be someone like Onyedika Dicker or something like that, maybe it could be. I don't know. But we need to figure that one out because for me, that's 12 million.
Signed Hugo Ekitike, who we could have got for 20 million last summer.
How many times has this happened though, Gal? We've been linked with so many players over the years. We have been linked with so many fucking players over the years. We chose not to sign them, and then the following season they signed for a big club for double the fee. Honestly, all the time. You could reel off the names like for fucking hours. It's ridiculous. It really is.
We all liked him. We all liked the look of him when we saw it. Emerson is clearly going, says Barry Krishna. Yeah. I mean, we just expect it one day soon. I do expect Alvarez to go as well. I would like to see Alvarez stay. If he turned around and literally opened his mouth and said words and committed himself to Potter, his playing style and the club, then I'll be more than happy to keep him. If he doesn't, then he's got to go, I'm afraid. With no room for, the big egos who think it's all about them. No way.
I agree with you. I mean, I think the thing with Alvarez, though, is that, yes, I do think he's a good player. I don't think he was he's full pomp last season. But the issue that I've got with him is the fact that he's fallen out with the last 3 managers.
Yes.
He fell out with Moyes, he's fallen out with Lopetegui, and he fell out with Potter as well. I mean, that doesn't really bode well for me. If the rumours of it, we don't know if that's factually true, but there's no smoke without fire. So that does worry me a little bit with him.
Well, that's it. It is all gossip, but the gossip that came out was he was named on the bench and he refused to go on the bench last season.
Yeah,
with Potter, we know he had a fight with Lopetegui, as did Kudus. We know that he had a real strop at Chelsea. I think he was right to have that strop because I was at that game. We were appalling, but nonetheless, he still fell out with that manager as well. So again. His talents, I don't think, are in any doubt. I think he is a good player. But I think if you've got a good player who has either got an attitude or not delivering to the capabilities that they're capable of, then what's the point in having them? You might as well get someone who wants to play. Yeah. Souček was awful yesterday, in my opinion. But I feel we need to keep Paquetá if only. Well, someone said earlier in the chat, and I missed it, was that the FA. I haven't heard this, but the FA put the decision off until next February, which is ridiculous. What are they doing? Going looking for more evidence.
This geezer, honestly, he's going to have a mental breakdown if he carries on like this. I mean, just give him a break. Just let him give him the answer. You know, the verdict. Fuck, it's just ridiculous.
You know what? I get the impression what the FA are trying to do is they're waiting for the problem to go away. They want West Ham to sell him to Brazil, so that it's no longer a problem. They can say, we can't do anything about it. Here's what a decision would have been. Souček is struggling. He does struggle. He can't play the classic Potter style of midfield. He can play when Potter plays a different style. You know, it's more akin to the previous managers, because that's what he ended up doing a few times last year. He ended up reverting to 4-2-3-1 and kind of making the best use of the available resources, right? That's not going to be, this is my thing, that's not really going to be an issue very much next year, because it's going to be a new team, a new style of football with players pulling in the same direction, hopefully.
Well, that's the key thing, Gal, because, you know, Alvarez might have thrown a strop and you could look at it objectively and say, well, I kind of get it. I get why. But he's a professional football player paid by West Ham United Football Club. If a manager, you know, gives him a certain set of instructions and he needs to carry that out, regardless of whether or not he thinks it's right or wrong, you have to do that. You have to back the manager as a player. So if you've got players that aren't doing that, then they need to be outed, because we want players that are going to play for the shirt, not for themselves individually. And I think that was the problem so many times last season. It was more of an individual thing. Like Kudus, prime example. You know, he did that constantly last season, playing for himself, head down, not looking around at other players. We don't want players like that.
Did you hear about what Thomas Frank has agreed with Kudus? That he's going to play him in the middle. He's going to play him in the middle.
Is he?
He believes he's a central player, Kudus. I mean, fucking hell, he's going to be a massive letdown there. I mean, I'll give it 10 weeks till he's on the left again.
that would be funny, wouldn't it? It would be hilarious if he's back on the left.
But he plays a number 10. He ain't a number 10 unless he starts lifting his head up. And I think time for him to develop his game has run out. He's 24 now. You can't change. You know, there is a certain point where it's very difficult to change a big part of your playing style. And a big part of his is when he's on the wing, he gets his head down, he runs past players, he gets the ball in, he has a shot at goal. When he does that in the middle, he has multiple players descend on him. He don't know where to fucking go, right? You got to lift your head up. He's never going to pass to anyone if you don't lift his head up. Think about it, you know. So anyway, this is not a Kudus show, honestly.
But you know, the thing with Kudus is, I actually do think he can play in the middle at times, but and I think he's got the potential to as well. I think he does have the potential to, but like I say, I think he's just got to become a little bit more unselfish. You know,
against
he does
crap teams, he will be able to play in the middle against. When he's playing for Tottenham and he comes up in the Champions League or against one of the top teams in the Premier League, he's not going to be able to play in the middle.
Well, there's people saying that he played there for Ajax, right? But he didn't. It wasn't just as a 10. He played on the right, he played through the middle. But then you've also got to understand that when he plays, when you're playing in the Dutch league, that league is nowhere near the level of the Premier League, right? Isn't so he's going to be able to do certain things that he wouldn't be able to do in the Premiership, right? So there is a distinct difference there. There is, but you know, whatever. We'll see how he gets on at Spurs. But
would you take that deal? Would you take that deal?
If Piquet gets cleared, would you swap him for Green? See, okay, so this is from Martin, isn't it? You're right, Martin. So my opinion on this would be, well, no, because I think it depends. Firstly, if Piquet wants to stay, right? That's the first thing. If Piquet wants to stay,
how much is Grealish worth at the moment? What's his market value?
Mate, I mean, he's worth what anyone's willing to pay for him. And right now, what would you want to pay for someone like Jack Grealish, 29 years old? Piquet is a year younger, I think. Personally, no, I wouldn't take that deal. But obviously, the caveat there would be Piquet wanting to stay at West Ham, not just hanging on at West Ham. But then also, you look at the dynamic with Grealish. Is he actually focused on, you know, getting on and getting on with his career, or is he more focused on the money and the fucking, I don't know, you know, all of the stuff that he does on outside of football, which it seems like he loves to drink, doesn't he?
Yeah, we've already mentioned this, Jason. He's definitely out of there. He's been tapping himself up for a leave last few summers, right? He wants to go back to Italy.
Yeah.
Talking hammers, not even yes, whatever. I don't know. It's the first time I've done an internal conversation tonight. I don't usually do it.
You're doing well, mate. You're doing well. Keep cracking on. You know,
can't play in the midfield with head down. Anyway, look, no more Kudus. Let's move on. There are just 3 more transfer. These are just rumours, right? Nothing to flesh these out at all. They're just headlines. So first of all, Taylor Hardwood-Bellis, centre half from Saints.
Yeah.
You heard anything about that?
Yeah, well, I think he's a decent player. I mean, when you look at when you look at Southampton's team, there's only a few standout players for them last season because they were atrocious, weren't they? I think we've taken one of them. But forget Harwood Bellish, right? I'd be more inclined to speak about their central midfielder I was talking about the other day.
Well, he's another double-barreled one as well, so we need him. THB.
Yeah.
Right? So if we can swap THB part exchange for JWP, like you were trying to do with KWP, right? I think that's a good thing. But anyway, surely JWP is going to end up back at Southampton at some point, isn't he? Got to.
Well, that's the one that I hope happens, to be honest with you, because it would absolutely make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, it really would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could do him in a PX deal, then yeah, that because I mean he's adored by Southampton. He loves Southampton. He came from the Southampton youth team. He was their captain. So why not? Why not?
Southampton fans are angry over him, so yeah, let's have him. Yeah. Well,
why are they? Who's angry with who?
Doesn't really bother me.
Who's angry with who, Claire?
Fernandez. I really like him. I must admit, he ticks the boxes for me. I like the guy at Leicester as well that we've been talking about.
He's got everything we need, mate. He's got absolutely everything we need. He really has. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. Absolutely.
A lot of people going on about Fernandez in here.
What's he going to cost us? I mean, they're talking like, I think they paid around about 20-25 million for him, right?
Yeah.
If we come in with a swap deal with JWP, then why the hell can't that be a possibility? I think we should go all out for that one, mate. I really do.
Here's an offer. Look, Fernandez and 10 mil for JWP. Look, we paid you 30 for him already. We paid you 30 for him.
So I mean, we got mugged off though with that deal, didn't we?
At that 30 million, how much do we still owe? I bet we probably owe about
28
of it.
It's a joke. It's a joke, honestly. How much we paid for that geezer? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Southampton fans won't want to lose Fernandez. Well, that's too bad. I don't think he's staying there, is he?
Why would he want to play in the Championship when he's a Premier League player? He's their best player. He's going to want to stay there.
He's proven himself in the Premier League. Once they've done that, it's very difficult to hold on to him as we found out when we got relegated with all those young stars, right? The next one is a recurring theme. I don't get this. A battle with Moyes for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. He's got a name. Another double-barreled one. KDH. Fucking hell, where are they all coming from? KDH?
Yeah,
we're going to get KDH and THB? What do you reckon?
Yeah. Gav, can I? I need to drop off real quickly. Yeah. Do you mind? I need to drop off. I'll come back again in a minute. Yeah, if I can. All right.
Yeah, I've lost my camera.
I don't know. Well, that's the better looking version of you there, the caricature, mate. But yeah, I will come back. I will try and come back. All right.
Okay. No worries. Right, people. I'm just going to try and get my video back. I think what's happened is I have made a bit of a bugger up, bit of a balls up. We shall see. Bear with me. Bloody typical. Chris has to go at the same time that I have to go. It's not on, is it? I might have to go for my disaster recovery plan in a minute, which is to go for the crappy camera and just turn the lights on. Hang on a minute. Bear with me. Let's just turn all the coloured lights off. Otherwise, it will just go mad, this thing. You'll run away from your screen. All right. So let me just do the old, let's turn the lights on. All lights on. And turn the coloured lights off. Right. So, coloured lights off. One more coloured light. Hang on. Right. I think we're done now. I can probably use me other camera. I see I've got a backup. It's professional, right? Professional. I bet the backup don't work either. That's how we go. Camera. So let's turn it on. Is it going to work? No, it's not going to work. Anyway, look, my caricature's moving. Yes, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's not as good as having a bloody camera, though, is it? I can't believe my camera's dead. Right, let's turn that on. Oh, look how bright that is. Blimey, what's going on? Ah, Elgato, you're letting me down. Right, hold on a minute. I ain't used this camera for ages, but let's turn it on. Auto. That's better. You can see me. Yay. Now I'm back. See my, you can see me thing in the background as well. Nice, isn't it? It actually brings it out a lot better. Brings it out a lot better, don't you think? So, anyway, that weren't bad. Emergency switch over onto backup camera. Shit hot. Right, where was I? So, we were talking about the next one was Kiernan Dewsbury Hall battle with Moyes. What do you lot think of that? Do you think that is a yeah, it's as if I work in IT, innit? I don't do technical stuff anymore, but it's as if I do. It's as if I do. I'm that good, you know what I mean? Yeah, that is that's really brought out the beauty of it, actually. I like that. That is a really good shot of it. Yeah. But yeah, must have taken weeks. And the last one is James McAtee. Again, a reoccurring theme. And it's they're saying he's going to cost 35 million. So I think it's safe to say that one ain't going anywhere, right? If I was to have a guess, right? So that's it. That is it for the Douglas Luiz. This one was warming up in the press as well. I don't think there's anything in this. I think the club have denied it, just the same way they have Grealish. So I think he's definitely coming. 27 years old, you know about Douglas Luiz anyway. But again, all of these players that I'm reading out, they're all a really good fit for the Potter system. So they are all valid. They're all valid, and that makes me feel a little bit better about this, don't it? You that they're a little bit, that we're not signing players that we don't want. We seem to be looking for players in exactly the right positions we need to fill. Douglas Luiz would work perfectly, as would McAtee, as would Dewsbury Hall, centre half Taylor Harwood-Bellis, the keeper. All of these players, apart from Calvert-Lewin, who I need to hear a story. If that Calvert-Lewin thing happens, I need to hear a story as to why it's happening. I need to be convinced. But other than that, everybody who I've just listed, from Kyle Walker-Peters to the youth that we've signed already, to Jack Grealish, to skip over him, to McAtee, Dewsbury Hall, THB, Douglas Luiz, they're all really, really good links, really positive links, and the two kids at Liverpool as well. So we're not linked with people who you think these are all players that you think Potter's going to want, right? I would take I would take any of these players pretty much. Like I said, the only one I need to hear a story about is a positive story about is what's his name? Calvert-Lewin. Just when I first saw that, it just made it, especially because it's warming up now, it kind of made me blood run cold a bit because I got no faith in that one at all. Right, and we've covered Mads Manson as well, the keeper, who would be fucking fantastic. And I've been going on about a keeper for Chris said it was a low priority. I don't think it is in this system. I think if you're building from the back and you're building this system, you're getting the right defense, you're getting the right midfield, you've got to have the keeper behind them. I think he retracted that statement actually. So, but he's not here, so he can't say anything, can he? Here's what it is. Let's talk about very briefly, and again, you all would have seen, well, many of you would have seen the friendly yesterday. I must admit, I thought it was quite refreshing. It was quite nice to see West Ham back. I expected to see a real makeshift team out there. And in the first half, it was a very strong team, wasn't it? A very strong team. Quite slow in the middle, as several of you just said. But nonetheless, there was a lot of big players out there. Paqueta was out there as well, surprisingly. Got a feeling he's going to be here come the new season. Naif Aguerd, it was strange to see him back in a West Ham shirt, but he did all right as well, as did Keelan Casey. Cornet didn't disgrace himself. Freddie Potts did really well. Callum Marshall took the goal brilliantly. He did well on his loan spell right at the end, didn't he? Or the second half of the season. They loved him there. And yeah, maybe, as someone said earlier in the comments, maybe it could be a TC kind of style of striker. I hope so. Lewis Alford did all right as well. One that I've really got good feelings about. And new boy Malik Diouf really, really looked good, didn't he? Really looked good. So when you look at all them, even JWP had a decent game. Suchek didn't. Fulkrug did all right. Bowen did what Bowen does. Yeah, he looks blinding like he always does. Don't forget as well, a lot of these players have got something really big to play for, and that is, what is it? The World Cup or the Euros at the end of this season? I think it's World Cup, isn't it? So they want to get on that plane, don't they? They want to get on that plane. But Chris is coming back. This is ridiculous. Right. Chris, I've had to switch camera. I've got a really little head. Oh, can't hear you now. Can't hear you. World Cup. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right,
you back now? Yeah.
Back in the room. Right, so I started talking about, we're just coming to an end actually, talking about Grasshoppers. So I just gave my thoughts. What did you think of the old friendly?
Well, I don't think you need to take too much into account with it, in all honesty, because it's a friendly. It's the first game of pre-season, so ultimately it's about getting fit.
Did you enjoy it? You have a good warm inner glow when you watched it?
Well, I'm happy to see West Ham playing again. Of course I am. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to call out any players and say, oh, they didn't play well, this, that, and the other, because it is about getting fit. So you don't expect them to be at their full pomp playing, in a pre-season friendly first game. You don't. No. I don't think Souček was great. I didn't think Aguerd was particularly good. I think he had a few stray passes. But overall, I think in the first half we controlled the game pretty much, which you would expect us to do against a team of that level and quality. I think second half, I think they probably got a bit more of the ball in for certain phases of the game. But for me, there was a few standouts and major positives, and that's got to be Malik Diouf down the left-hand side, because he was bombing forward, driving forward into the final thirds. What I like about him is actually, Gal, is that he's not the type of, from what it showed in that game, where you kind of get into that final third and then you check back. He's pinging those crosses in straight away, and that's a great thing to see, because how many times were we frustrated last season when players were whipping them in the box? And I quite like that.
Delivery as well. Hell of a delivery and a good finish.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris, have you noticed something? Have you noticed how I have changed camera since you left?
You look brighter now, mate. You look brighter. Yeah, you do.
I know. It's my old camera, right? To switch over because the other one died on me, right?
You look better.
No, me, but it's skin tones. I'm still playing with it. Don't forget the old cameras, but that's probably why it died on me, because I've had it bloody on for ages.
Oh, okay, yeah. No.
You notice the little thing at the back. It shows it in its full glory. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely, mate. I want one of those things as well. They look wicked. Honestly, they look so good. It's really, really
one
good.
of a kind, Chris. I'm sorry.
It is one of a kind. You're going to stick your Mavropanos shirt next to that, or what?
Well, there's plenty of now because I've gone to.
You don't have to, mate. You don't have to. You don't feel like you have to. It was more of a joke present than anything else, mate.
Honestly, I'm going to put things on the wall, give them a try. If I don't like them, I'll take them down again. I don't want it to look cluttered. I want it to look good, right? So
mate,
I'm going to introduce things a bit at a time.
Are you telling me you're indecisive with your studio, mate? Because
I know it's uncanny, isn't it? It's uncanny, yeah.
I know. I'll give it a week, and that sign will probably be on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. Probably more stand back up.
Who started in midfield in Potter's first ever game? I don't know.
Well, that was against Aston Villa, wasn't it? Jesus Christ! We were up there, weren't we, at Villa Park for that one? I can't remember.
I mean, that was a really good first half, brilliant first half, wasn't it? Apart from Fulker going off after 15 minutes and Somerville getting injured.
And both of those two players in particular were playing brilliantly. They really were.
I can't remember who was in the centre. I can't remember for the life of me. No, I am worried.
No, I can't.
Being sold. I don't want him to be sold because he's worth every penny of 16 million if he's sold, right? If anyone's,
I don't think he will be. I genuinely don't think he will be sold. Yeah,
I don't think.
I don't. I think he's a backup player for us. I don't think Potter sees him as a first choice centre half. And I think ideally we need to bring in another centre half as well. I think we will. I think Mavropanos. It's so frustrating though, because I do think when you look at it, and you're right in what you're saying, he's got all of the attributes to be a good player, but he just makes one too many mistakes. That's the biggest issue with Mavropanos. He's got pace. He's strong airily. He's a physical player. He looks like he should be a good centre half. What are you doing?
I got up and my thing that usually goes behind the back everywhere. Yeah. Disgusting mess.
Let's go back to your question, mate. Let's go back to your question. I think.
Hold on. Yeah. If you're saying it's pre-season, so it don't matter, but many, including myself, had a meltdown after last pre-season match. Yeah, but last pre-season was disgusting, wasn't it? I mean, we had to go to that godforsaken American tournament, and this one we're going to is not like that one. This is in premium stadiums, on premium pitches against premium opposition, probably with a full house and no Falk Lightning or tractors. So, but it was disgusting, and there's no way Lopetegui. Really, that was a bit unfair. Send him on that one. This is a straightforward, very, very professionally run tour. It's a tournament, isn't it? So I'm not, I don't mind going to these places because it's gonna fit. We seem to be in Florida for about 2 weeks before we had a game. We were there for ages. Right?
Yeah.
Our first game is Saturday night, and we played Grasshoppers on Saturday. So that's not the same situation either. So, but 3 competitive games, I would think that Man United, Bournemouth, and Everton are be at a similar fitness level to us, maybe. I don't think they do matter too much in terms of the results. What you don't want to do is get turned over and rumped by these teams, 4-5-0. You want to at least compete and see something good. And if he's trying out some of the youngsters, that's what I want to see, right? I want to see how these youngsters can play against real opposition.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I think it's good opportunity to play against, good teams, and they are good Premier League teams in and around kind of the same sort of level as us, by all accounts. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how we perform against them. It will be. But I would like to see him try some of the youth out. I want to see a bit more of Alford. I know he wasn't amazing yesterday, but didn't dig him out. It's like I said, it's the first game of pre-season. I want to see a bit more of him. I want to see Potts. I want to see them starting games actually, as opposed to coming on in the second half.
Yeah.
And I want to see a lot more of Fulkrug as well. I want to see him get more game time pre-season, just so he's really, really as fit as he possibly can be.
Yes, for sure. So let's talk about the US tour then. This is the last thing we've got on the agenda, Chris. It starts on Saturday. We go to the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, US of A. 7 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. So what's that? That's 6 hours behind us or something. So that's a 5 hours behind us. So that's a midnight kickoff.
I think it is a midnight kickoff. Yeah, I saw that earlier on. I think it's a midnight kickoff. Yeah, I'll stop and watch it though. Mate, we're wide awake at midnight anyway, mate. So we're like a flipping night house. We'll be watching that, no problem.
That's not too bad, right? Midnight's fine. It's that last year, you remember the one that was delayed and people had to stay up till 4 a.m. to watch it?
Oh, God, yeah. No, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. But no, midnight's fine, actually. I quite like a game at midnight.
Well, you got 2 games on Eastern Time. So the one against Bournemouth on the 3rd of August, the following Saturday, that is 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's a nice 7 o'clock p.m. our time. And then you've got one that might be a bit dodgy. I'm not sure what the difference is in Central Time. I think is it 7 hours? That is a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. So if it's 7 hours, then that could be, if my maths is right, it could be 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. That's in Chicago. Soldier Field, that one. I've been there. That's I used to go to Chicago quite a lot. I love Chicago, my favorite American city. Beautiful. A lot of history. A lot of history in Chicago. It's got an ambience about it. You know what I mean?
It's one place I've never been to. I've been all over the US, but Chicago is one place I've not been for some strange reason. So
it's amazing. It's amazing. It's got like Americans that are like Londoners there, like people who want to go out and have a drink. So I found that when you went to like New York and places like that, you invite the locals out for a drink. You go out, end up having food. Obviously, you have food, have a beer, 2 beers with their dinner, then they're got to go home, right? Whereas Chicago, they're out all night. They're on the piss. I like it.
Mate, I had some great nights out in New York. I used to do stopovers there quite frequently when I used to work for a firm in Nashville, and I mean, I didn't go where all the tourists would go. I typically go down sort of like West Village area. Yeah. And those guys would be out all night drinking. It was great. And they love it. English people out there as well. So it's like, let me get you a drink. Let me get you a drink. I'm like, all right, go on, crack on.
Yeah. I do love it there. I've worked in New York quite a lot, and I do love it there. But when I tended to go there, I took a team with me. So we ended up with a load of English people in New York, Englishmen in New York. Okay? I did once, we went into a club, and this was only I was about 40, I must have been early 40s, right? And the geezer asked me for ID when I was going into the club. I said, thank you very much. You made my day. He said, no, I'm serious. You got to show me something. So I slipped him, I don't know, $50 or something. He said, look, just flash something at me. He said, I'll let you in. So I did.
What do you flash at him, Gal? What do you flash at him?
I can't tell you. He's like a work ID card or something. There you go. After you say it, and you go, bosh.
It's hilarious, isn't it, though? Because I mean, I've been out there with colleagues before, and there was a geezer that I was working with, and he was about 52, and they're asking him for his ID, and I was laughing. I was like, "Come on, like you see, it doesn't matter. It's policy, absolute policy." But I'll tell you, one thing I must admit that I love about the US. I know it's mental. Like, I mean, I would like it if people ask me for my ID because it makes me feel like I'm a little bit younger.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for your ongoing support.
No, Steve. No.
Yes,
no. I saw that comment.
Steve.
I wasn't going to pin it.
Hang on. But I just thought I'd put it out there anyway, just by mistake, purely by mistake. But look,
yes, it was.
I think is, if you're going to go on a tour, do it properly. I really hated that fucking tour last year, not only because it was in Florida, but it was against teams like Palace and whatever. And look, say what you like about Palace, that we didn't want to be playing that style of team. We knew it was going to be bloody tough, and it's not exactly a glamour thing. We haven't exactly got a rivalry against Palace, have we?
Well, no, we don't. Well, no, we don't. Not really. I mean, I say we're all rivals.
We all like Palace, don't we? We sort of like Palace. We're not like we like them as well. We don't really hate them, do we?
Sorry, can I just clarify one thing, right? I'm just looking back at these shows. I didn't go for a number 2, right? I'd say personal. I had a personal call that I had to take, yeah. So I didn't need to wash my hands, just to clarify, all right? Fucking hell. So obvious. It's so, honestly, it's so obvious what some people would say, like as if suddenly I had the urge to go for a shite. No, I'm fine. Didn't need to go to the toilet. I was actually sitting on the other side of my cabin, to be honest. So, yeah.
Authentic malt vinegar. That's right, Barry Krishna. Yes.
Why are you bringing this up again? I thought we were done with this. I'm going to take that bloody video down, mate. It was like, do you know, like if I knew that I was going to get this backlash about fucking malt vinegar versus chili vinegar, I never would have done it. Because you weren't expecting me to bring my my old vlogging cam out the other day. I just did it. It's brilliant, actually. I
really enjoyed that. It was a good laugh. It was a good laugh. Good day.
It's a bit different, isn't it? Like this is the thing. I just think, we talk about authenticity. We just do what we want. Do you know what I mean? Like what feels natural. And that morning I was like, I'll do a little mini transfer update. I was like, I will, but I might as well take my camera out with me because I was meeting up with you. And it seemed to make sense. But you can't get more authentic than that. Discussion about pie mash.
And that's all we're aiming for, really. I mean, I'm not fucking drone on about it again. I've done enough of that on Friday, but that's all we'll be. We'll just be ourselves. We'll just be authentic. If we're upset, we're upset. If we're happy, we're happy. We ain't going to promise to be happy all the time because that's impossible, right? But I will promise not to, we're not going to go to the extremes. Yeah. I might go to the extremes of happiness if something good happens. So I can't promise that won't happen. But it's only happened a couple of times.
Gary, right? There's nothing wrong in this, though. And I don't want to sound like I'm fucking preaching, but because this is just my personal thoughts on this, and I've said it 1,000,001 times over. Yeah. Like I was culpable of being negative many times last season. We all were as fans because it just drags you down. We've been served up shit for the last few years. Of course, it's going to drag you down. But I just don't see any purpose of going into a new season feeling negative. It's what's the fucking point? Like, what is the point? Give the geezer a bit of time to bring in his players and then judge him a little bit later. Don't judge him off the back of half the season where he had to basically, work with a team and a squad of players that weren't his. None of them. The only one that you could say is maybe a little bit responsible for was Ferguson, which was a disaster. But apart from that, look, you can't. It's not fair.
Where does this come from? Has there been political discussions in the chat? Have I missed something? Sorry, because I mentioned Starmer or anything. I don't know. What's this is indeed a Sully out channel, but at the same time, I'm not going to talk about Sully all the time because he's boring. And until he's gone, I don't want to picture his face. I'll tell you what. Let me just give you a very simple explanation. When I go to football, I can't be starting from miserable. I've got to be starting from optimistic and hopeful. And for the last 2 seasons, I've started from fucking ain't even looking forward to going, right? So by the time I get there, I'm already pissed off, right? I'm already pissed off. I can't go to football like that anymore. So I'm not 100%. Going to. I'm going to support the team. I'm not going to make my fucking mind up about shit before I even go there.
Right? So that's the thing, right? It's easy to be like, well, it's not easy. There is a choice around this about choosing to be negative. And I do understand why people, and there are reasons for it. Of course there are, but you've got to look where we are right now as a club. We're not the European fucking, we're not a European team anymore in the sense of playing in the Europa League or the Conference. We're not there. Yeah. We're not there. So we have to take a step back. Annoyingly, yes, we should be there because there's a lot of things that we should have done and the ball got it wrong. I get all of that stuff. Of course I do. Yeah. Don't want Sullivan in. Fuck him off, right? But we're West Ham fans, and I like you. I don't want to. Last season, I kept going to games, and I was miserable, man. Like, I was miserable so much.
Before the game even bloody starts, or the formation comes out, and you've already condemned the team because you don't like the formation because it's not your optimal, right? What's he fucking done that? It's like, I'll just watch the game and see how it goes, yeah.
But I never used to be like this, though, Gal. I never used to be like this.
I never used to be like this. I used to go religiously. Well, I still do. I used to go to every game thinking we might win it, no matter where it was. As stupid as that might be, that is the way I used to go to football, because I always thought we had a chance. And sometimes it worked out well, sometimes it didn't. And guess what? You know, it's easier to move from optimistic to grumpy, because where do you go to if you move from already angry? You move into fucking angry, right? And what good does that do me or anyone else? You know, it's just going to put me off. So this is, call it selfish. It is for my own peace of mind, because I want to try and start enjoying going to football again. And Chris does too. And that is what this is all about, frankly.
So
It's an alarm.
All right. Okay.
Time to get up.
Mate,
so look,
I couldn't put any better myself, mate.
No political views or religion. Oh, right. Okay. So look, if anyone's put that nonsense in the chat, don't. This is how it should be. As Matt Foster said, West Ham is my religion, because it is my religion. It's our religion. So yes, this is about supporting West Ham this year, and like Claire says, optimistic every game.
It is. And
I mean, I rarely back us to lose, right? Unless I think we're away to someone like, I don't know, an informed Man City or something. Then it'd be bloody stupid, wouldn't it?
It's also about.
Ooh, maybe if we get a goal, maybe if we get an early goal, you know what I mean?
It's also about supporting chili vinegar as well. I think that's what you meant, usual suspect. Yeah, chili oil, but chili vinegar. It's all about that.
Chili oil,
chili vinegar, and West Ham. That's what we're getting behind this season.
I'm a big fan of chili oil, not so much of chili vinegar.
I think that's what he meant. He didn't mean all. He meant.
Yeah, I think what I should do, Chris, is I should keep the chili vinegar on a separate table. And by the way, there's one thing I forgot to notice. If you go back and check that video, check the levels of the chili vinegar versus the normal vinegar.
Yeah, and you know what? I already thought about this. No. I didn't miss that. Let me give you my reasoning behind this. Fucking chili vinegar is so damn popular. They have to constantly refill that fucking thing, constantly refilling it up so it's topped up, because they know it's going to go quickly. Whereas you and your malt vinegar, it's fucking dust over the top of that. I saw it. You know, so there you go. You know. Yeah.
Anyway, look, I think we're done, haven't we? You got anything else?
No, mate. No, I'm good. No, I'm all good, mate. Thank you. Brilliant. I'm good, thanks.
And yeah, thanks again to everybody for your support this week. It's been amazing. I hope you enjoy our shows that are coming up in a week. You're going to Japan soon, aren't you? For 3 weeks.
I am. I can't wait. Got my suitcase down today. Started packing. Yeah. It feels good to know that I'm going to be away for a bit.
You lucky git. But yeah. So again, if you watch our content, please could you subscribe, hit like, etc. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Leave a nice comment. You can leave a comment disagreeing with us. Just don't be horrible. That's all. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And that is it. I think we are done. So thanks everybody in chat for your lovely comments. Thanks to Claire for being the mod. Thanks to you, Chris. We're finishing nice and early for a change.
I know.
Just gonna
be quite disciplined now.
Unheard of. All right. See you soon, everyone. Come in your hands.